Hey everyone, and welcome back to another eShop Deals video, where each and every week we look at the best games that are currently on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Now just before we get started, I just want to remind you all that I always leave last week's video linked in the top pinned comment down below, because a lot of those deals are still running. If you want to make sure you're not missing out, you can always check out that video after this one. Also, as usual, we'll be giving away a $5 eShop gift card about halfway through today's list. All you need to do if you want to participate in future weeks is check out the midweek under $5 eShop deals video and drop a comment in that video. You'll be automatically entered. Now with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into the deals. Just don't forget that if you do like the content, please hit that like button. It helps out a ton, and consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Now the first game on today's list is one that I'm super happy is finally getting another major discount, and that is Earthlock. That is down 81% to only $5.68 and will have its deal running till November 11th. Earthlock is a classic turn-based RPG, and it is very sculpted after the 90s classics that we all know. I would refer to Final Fantasy VII and VIII for example. However, the 3D rendered visuals and basically characters here are really on par with today's standards. And overall, this game really has a beautiful storyline and its own flavor for all the different mechanics. In reality, the only thing this game generally has going against it is its regular sale price of almost $30, which feels a little steep for an indie RPG. However, when you can get it like today at 81% off, this is such a steal that there's no way that any RPG fan should not be picking this up. On top of it, there's a free downloadable demo. Now, our next great deal for today is the Trine Ultimate Collection that is still at 80% off for only $9.99. Now, do act quick, however, because this deal will be ending on October 26th. Now, this collection is such excellent value. You're basically getting all 4 of the Trine games, so Trine 1 through 4, for only $10. And these are some amazing puzzle platformers. What I love most about the game is being able to change between the different characters on the fly and attack each and every puzzle in a variety of ways. Now, just in case you're already the owner of some of the games, they are all individually on sale. However, if you've ever wanted to scoop them all up for a low price, this is probably the best way. Now, our next game will be Worms WMD that is still 75% off for only $7.49 and has its deal running all the way to November 4th. This is a game for fans of strategy-based games. If you've never played a Worms game before, it is an extremely humoristic take on the strategy genre, where basically you're controlling a squad of, yes, earthworms, but that are equipped with massive weapons. In this one, there's even availability to ride in different vehicles. Overall, any fans of strategy play at only $7.49, you will have hours and hours of awesome gameplay from this game. Now next, we have another returning favorite of mine, which is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World at 50% off for $7.49 and will have the deal running till November 4th. Now this game is ultimately one of my favorite beat-em-ups currently on the Nintendo Switch, with an amazing soundtrack and really beautiful retro-style graphics. Now I even did a live stream playing this game for the viewers and showing them just how deep the system is in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. A lot of people drop this game early because they actually don't invest on figuring out the different stats system. If you do pick this game up, take some time to look up online because it has a really original way of progressing through the game. But overall, once you have that down, I have no doubt that Scott Pilgrim will become one of your favorite beat-em-ups as well. Now the next amazing deal we're going to take a look at is Sparklite, that is currently 60% off, knocking its price down to $9.99, and this one will be running till November 11th. Now this is a top-down action-adventure dungeon crawler where basically you're dropped into a procedurally generated environment. Now yes, that does sound like something we hear very often on the Switch, but personally, Sparklite is once again among my favorite, with great visuals, an absolutely great crafting system where you can make up your own weapons and items, and it even has a little touch of Zelda with some pretty decent puzzles to solve in the various environments. Top it all off with some really memorable boss fights, Sparklite has a lot to love if you're into this genre. The next game, or I should say remaster, is one that I was really looking forward to getting a really decent discount so I could put it at the forefront, and it's finally here, with Overcooked All You Can Eat, now at 40% off for $23.99, with the deal running till November 4th. So this is basically the combination of the first Overcooked and the second Overcooked, however, put together in a package with all the DLC and overall remastered and refined. And currently, Overcooked is both me and my family's favorite co-op party game on the Nintendo Switch. The only thing, when they released this remaster pack at $40 for a couple of games that a lot of people already own, I did feel it was a little steep. Now, at 40% off, it is a great time to either upgrade, or if you're new to the Overcooked series, to get the Ultimate Edition of both games. The next great deal we're going to take a look at is Aragami, the Shadow Edition that is currently 60% off, knocking down to $11.99, and will be running all the way to November 11th. Now, if you're a fan of stealth-based gameplay or combat, Aragami is a game that you have to have on your Nintendo Switch. On top of it, it is sort of like a throwback to the old school Tenchu series, although with a lot of mysticism and supernatural abilities thrown in. And on a final note, if you own a Switch OLED and this game as well, definitely fire it back up like I did this week. The red and blacks really pop in handheld mode on that new OLED screen. Our next game is actually going to be one of my favorite bundles, the Pew Pew Bundle Volume 1 that is currently 85% off for $6.74 and will have its deal running till November 4th. Now this bundle is an amazing pickup for anyone who enjoys the various shooter type genres. With first, Black Paradox being a fast-paced roguelike shoot 'em up and truly a great value, especially within this bundle. Secondly, you have Bleed 2, which is a side-scrolling platforming bullet hell game that is really an amazing run-and-gun arcade-style pickup. And finally, you have Xenoraptor, which is a visually stunning twin-stick shooter. Ultimately, at only $6.74, these are 3 games that are amazing to pick up. So now it's time to just take a quick break and look at this week's winner of the $5 eShop gift card. And this week's winner is going to be Miguel Guzman, who basically said, "You forgot the best game on sale, Calculator." And you know what, Miguel? Some might say that was maybe a voluntary oversight. But anyway, to claim your $5 eShop gift card, all you need to do is reach out to me in my pinned comment down below. Now our next deal is making it just in time for Halloween, with Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection finally at its lowest price ever of 33% off for $20.09, and this deal will be running all the way to November 11th. Now first of all, just to be clear, this is not just a remaster of the original Ghosts and Goblins, it is rather a ground-up reimagining of that game. And I'll be honest, when the game released, I dropped to $30 at full price expecting to be disappointed. However, I was pleasantly surprised. This game, as I said, really has the spirit of the original game, however, really bringing it up to today's standards. Just a fair warning, however, it is just as frustrating and difficult as the original entry, so make sure you're up to the challenge. There are some gameplay modes that do make it more approachable, but you'll still have to put in quite a bit of time into memorizing the different levels and the different obstacles. Now our next game also feels like it has a perfect atmosphere for Halloween, and that is Morbid and the 7 Acolytes at 50% off for only $12.49, and that will be running till November 7th. Now this is a top-down action RPG where, as you can probably guess by the title, you are tasked with taking down the 7 Acolytes. But don't be mistaken, this is not a Zelda-like experience, it is rather a Souls-like one, with extremely difficult and challenging combat. Also, the designs here are quite obviously Lovecraftian inspired, and there's quite a bit of gore throughout the whole game. Once again, just like so many other games on today's list, at its full price of $25, I just felt it a little pricey. However, today, at 50% off for $12.49, it becomes a great pickup. Now, our next game is another one at a brand new lowest ever price, and that is the Survivalists, the Deluxe Edition, at 50% off for $13.49. That will also be running till November 4th. Now, I've talked about this game on quite a few occasions, because in my opinion, it is a great, cutesy pixel art take to the sandbox survival genre. You'll be basically dropped on various randomized islands, you'll have to build for shelter, you'll have to grow food, you'll have to basically survive against the elements and enemies as well. But the mechanic that I probably enjoyed the most here is how you can befriend the monkeys of the island, and they will be able to help you with the future day-to-day tasks. Lastly, here in the deluxe edition, you're getting all the DLC included, so at $13.49, you're really getting a nice all-around package. Next, we're going to follow that up with another game at its lowest ever price with Wallachia Reign of Dracula at 50% off for $7.49, and we'll have the deal running till November 10th. Now, overall, this is a really solid 2D action side-scrolling platformer. On top of it, by its thematic and also its visuals, you can easily see that it's been heavily inspired by Castlevania. Now, although it does do its own thing with a bow and arrow as a main weapon rather than a whip, Wallachia Reign of Dracula honestly does feel like almost a spiritual successor to Super Castlevania. Overall, for any fan of 2D retro action games, I'd highly be surprised that you'll be disappointed with Wallachia, especially at this price. The next great deal on our list will be 9 Monkeys of Shaolin that is currently 75% off for $7.49 and will have its deal running till October 27th. Now this is another 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up. However, this time we have fully 3D rendered sprites. And this is another game that I showed off and played on stream, so if you want to watch that replay, it's always available on the channel. But what really surprised me and I enjoyed a ton about this game is how there is really a strategic approach to combat, and it is really focused around comboing your different moves together. In my opinion, it really does a decent job of giving a martial arts kung fu feel to the style of fighting. Also, there is a really robust upgrade system that will allow you to really personalize your character in a variety of ways. Once again, only thing this game had going against it was that its regular price of $30 is a little pricey for the game. At $7.49, it is amazing value, and there's also a free downloadable demo. Now our next game, or I should rather say collection, is also at its lowest ever price, but that's because it's the first ever sale on it, and that is Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol that is 33% off at $10.04 that will be running till November 5th, and finally, this is going to be my pick of the week. Now this collection combines 2 of the biggest cult hits from the 16-bit era. With amazing arcade-style top-down shooter action, both these games are amazing pickups for anyone who is into the retro fandom. On top of it, they've added quite a few interesting quality of life upgrades, such as a quick save feature that will let you jump right in and out of the action. Also, an awesome 2-player local co-op mode that is perfectly fitting with the style of these games. And on top of it, for any fans of the originals, there's even a museum feature with game art and an interview with one of the original developers. Overall for this week, I think that this is a great pickup for any fans of the original or anyone who really wants to give a try for an old school retro arcade shooter. Now our next deal is probably going to become as no surprise to any channel regulars, but that is Tanuki Justice that is 50% off for $7.49, equal to its lowest ever price, and will be ending on November 10th. Now Tanuki Justice is a 2D side-scrolling bullet hell platformer, and it has an overall great arcade style with rapid fire levels that will offer a huge level of difficulty, yet rewards memorization and overall skill. Now this is yet again another game that I played on stream because I just love it so much I had to showcase it for everyone. Now contrary to some other games for this week, this is one that I would easily say is worth its full price. So it is truly a steal when you're getting it for only $7.49 for anyone who is up to the challenge to take the game on. Now, let's close off the deal section with a quick sizzle reel of some other games you might want to consider for this week. that was pretty much it for this week's eShop deals list. Let me know what you all thought of the games and are you going to be picking up any for yourselves? Also, let me know what you all thought about the sizzle reel at the end of the video. I really thought it was a great way to fit in a few extra rapid fire deals. Also, just before we end the video, I always need to take a couple of seconds to really thank the channel supporters. They help the channel grow in a huge way, and if ever you want any more information about membership, the link is down below in the description of the video. Lastly, don't forget that on the way out, if you did like what you saw, please do consider hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel if you aren't already, and hitting the notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see all of you in my next video.